Hey guys, here's a quickie I want to share with you. So 1500 rated opponent, it was 1500 at the time of the game, and it's a really nice one in the von Hennig Gambit. So play through this with me, because it really does have twists and turns and lots of interesting tactical ideas. It's only 24 moves, so it won't take long. Okay, so we have a Caro Can't, normal Caro Can't. I now play this knight c3, takes, and this is the von Hennig. So you don't try and recover the pawn immediately, bring the bishop out, eyeing up f7. Here, black throws in the move b5, so I have to drop my bishop back, but I'm still looking at f7. And we have knight out, so now it's f3, and if takes, knight takes, and what you are hoping for is the bishop to come out here, right? We've just had this slight deviation with the pawn there and the bishop dropping back, but otherwise we are all still on. So if they pin your knight against your queen, then you have two options, and the correct move to play is bishop takes, king takes, bishop to here with check, and then win the bishop back. But I really like the oh no my queen line. Now my opponent Yam Cohen here takes 36 seconds and doesn't bite. He obviously looked very hard at that queen and thought, nah. Because obviously, if they take here, then actually bishop takes f7 is checkmate because the knight guards this square, the king's in check, he ain't got nowhere to go. And he dies. And so, I like this line, okay, but he didn't bite. Now, there are a few moves. Interestingly, bishop to h5 loses, because queen takes bishop. You can just take it outright. The knight cannot recapture because you still have bishop to there, and the knight, the king is in check, and it's the end of the game. Best move probably for black is the bishop back to e6, after which point you trade with the white pieces, giving them doubled isolated king pawn, a DIKP, which is not nice. And then you can castle short, get your rook onto the open f file, and happy days. So it's a great fun line. So anyway, he pushes e6, which loses the bishop. Okay, because he's only got one defender, I've got two attackers. So thank you very much. I'll take that bishop and crack on. Okay, so I'm +2 here. Now he attacks my queen. I just move up, saying, okay, well, I'm up material already. How about we trade queens? Should we simplify everything down and have a nice fun end game? Black says, not on your Nelly. Now, notice this is 7.2 seconds, right? The bishop is the only defender of the pawn. Okay, so probably a better idea than developing the bishop would be to develop the queen. Say queen to here, something like that. Anyway, so I grab the pawn and say thank you very much again. And notice the eval bar. Right, it was, and it's just gone to why? Pause if you need to. Well, my opponent's next move, bishop h4, check. And now it's gone back to +6 for white here. Now, I haven't analysed this. I've just finished the game. Now, I push g3 and break the check, but this sends it back to 0. Why? Well, check this out. Bishop f6. And my queen is trapped. Bugger. So I spent a bit of time looking at this. 27 seconds. And Desperado. Desperado is a tactic where... that apparently was not the right move to play at all. When you know you're going to lose material, you try and grab as much material or do as much damage as you can for your loss. Okay, it's compensation. Now, taking the rook was not correct, apparently. We will see. So it didn't like that at all. Now black is winning. Okay, black takes my queen, and now I want to get castled. I want to castle long, obviously, get my king behind my pawns, centralise my rooks, So black is, I'm actually one pawn down equivalent. I've got a rook and two pieces and two pawns, but I've lost my queen and a piece and two pawns. Okay, so I develop the bish. He now takes this free pawn, but I castle now pinning the bishop, and we're getting a bit closer to equal. Okay, now he can't do this because the bishop's pinned, right? So if he pushes that pawn, I can just take it. If he pushes this pawn, I can take that pawn for free, and that puts another attacker on the bishop. Okay, so what he does is he brings the queen out to here. Okay, I now attack the queen and open up a pawn. So my opponent is sharp, you know, he's seeing things. He's seeing his opportunities for sure. Takes here, but now the queen is still, you know, because that comes with check. I have to move the king. Queen drops back. Now I throw in a check and a few more checks, and this is that looks like a blunder again. Okay, now my idea is, because I thought, wow, rook here is checkmate. But of course it isn't, because king can just take it, right? So that's why I dropped my bishop in there, going for a mating idea, but looks like a blunder. Knight comes out, okay? So start checking again, king moves here. All right, the knight is defended, don't have to do anything, let's leave it near the middle of the board. So rook h to e1, pins this pawn. Okay, and now can you see a tactic for white? Right, opponent here thought for 39 seconds and moved his bishop back. Okay, and that is terrible. It's actually mate in 10. No, or is it? No, it's just plus 11. Plus 11. So can you see the tactic, right? If we're looking at the board, we notice because of this move, this pawn is pinned. This pawn is pinned. It's not guarding this square and it's not guarding this square. Why does that matter? Because we have the next move is the last move of the game, knight to f5 check, and the queen is going to be lost. So, fascinating game. If you're thinking, you know, I'll never get to 1500 players don't blunder and make mistakes, guess what? They do, you know. A comedy of errors. Let's have a quick look at the review. I'd like to see what the best moves were, particularly near the... Oh, it's making me feel queasy just looking at that graph. Wow. 65 accuracy. No, we've seen 800 rated players play with 90% accuracy. It's possible. Okay, so this... it's interesting. B5 is best, good. Blunder. Okay. 95 is best, according to the machine. Wow, and that's a mistake, because we win. Right. Now, this is the bit that I wanted to look at. It's saying centralise the queen. Maybe that would have been sensible. And that's a blunder. This allows your pieces to get forked. Okay, so bishop f6 was... Okay, so it wanted to... The thing is, the queen trap wasn't even on then because I still have g3. It's because I pushed g3. That was my only escape square down the g file, yeah? Only escape square at all. Bishop here, but then this is... Okay, I should have just stepped out of... There you go. I missed the trap. That's brilliant. And that's a blunder. Bishop g5. Oh man, it's that old England Gambit pattern, isn't it? That old one, that old chestnut. Come to here, right? Now, and if they take my queen, I take their queen. And then I guess, you know, king takes, and we're actually back on equal footing at that point. Interesting stuff. Just missing these resources. You know, again, I'm looking at the board and I'm thinking, you know, my queen is going to be lost. And I just missed that I had another resource. You take my queen, I take yours. Yes, you get a bishop, but materials then equal. But look at the, I mean, terrible pawns. Terrible pawn structure for black. Okay, and that's a blunder. Should have counterattacked. Okay, excellent move. And that's a mistake. Queen takes was better. Okay. And then I think we are... Ooh, that's inaccurate. Okay. And that's a blunder. Knight F. I had Knight F5 here. Then sure, what if pawn takes? Then I have a forced sequence. Okay, bishop blocks. And bishop takes is winning, so if not bishop blocks, queen blocks. King F8 is mate. Oh my lord. Wow. Missed it. There you go. Okay, interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. Yeah, so lovely little gambit against the Caro Can't. I enjoy playing this very much indeed. Hope you will as well. Thanks for watching. See you later.